I wanted to make a quick video to show how you can separate the responsibility of handling input for controlling a character and for controlling the character directly. Um, so we're going to do that with two different scripts. We're going to attach a script to the player that's its only responsibility is moving the player around. And then we're also going to attach a script to this character controller, and its responsibility is going to be to tell the player how to move. And you might wonder, well, why would I ever do that? What's the point of that? And the reason is, if you've ever played like Super Mario Brothers 3, for example, when you end the level, what happens is the game takes over Mario and moves Mario off the screen. So we can add that functionality as part of this, just as a way of saying, well, why would we do this? So right now I've got the level set up. We don't really have any scripts at all. If we hit play, I'm just going to say, yeah, this is the main level. Absolutely nothing happens. So we're just going to do all of this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our player script. Now this is a character body 2D. Instead of using the character body 2D basic movement, I'm just going to use, I'll just use node default and we'll see what we need. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a quick jump function. So I'm going to say var jump height equals, let's say 20. Actually, let's do 60. And I'll talk about why I'm doing that in a second. Then time to jump peak equals 0.5 seconds. Then we're going to have of our jump velocity, of our gravity. So in our ready, I'm going to do some quick calculations. I'm going to say jump velocity equals -2 times jump height divided by time to jump peak, and gravity equals 2 times jump height divided by this, basically squared. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Now, I'm also going to make this player a state machine. So I'm going to do enum states. I'm going to do idle. I'm going to do running. I'm going to do jumping. Okay. Now, in our let's see, we're not going to need process. We're going to need physics process. So all we're going to do, oh, and we also need a var state is one of states. And in our ready, I'm going to say state equals states.idle. Okay. Now, we have an animation player. I'm just going to grab a reference to that up here. If you didn't know, you can just hold Control and Shift and drag it in. Oh, that's right. Alt and drag it in. No, I thought it was Control. Oh, maybe it's... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Control. And that creates the onReady. Okay, so I have already set up idle and run. I didn't set up jump, but you could if you want. This is just from the Sunnyland asset pack on, say, itch. Now, so in our physics process, all I'm going to do is if state equals states.idle, then I'm going to say animation player.play idle. I'm actually going to take out the jumping state for now and just have idle and running. And then elif state equals states.running, animation player.play run. So that's handling our animation for us pretty easily. Um, then I'm going to add func, let's see, move, and I'm going to say this is just to go left or right. So direction float. And this returns void. So I'm going to say velocity.x equal, oh, and we need a move speed up here. So we need var move speed, let's say, I don't know, 100. We can play with that later. So direction, let's see. Yeah, velocity.x equals direction times speed. Oh yeah, move speed. And that's it. Now, then we can also say func, let's see, I'm gonna get rid of these underscores. Say jump. And then if is on for velocity.y equals jump velocity. And that's kind of it. Oh, and then one other thing, I guess, is if velocity.x, let's say absolute velocity.x greater than 0, if velocity.x greater than 0, let's see, less than 0, let's say animation player dot flip, what is that called? Oh no, not animation player. We want our sprite. I'm gonna say animated sprite, animated sprite 2D flip equals true. Elif velocity dot x greater, oh, I guess we can just do else. Okay, now, oh, and then let's see. We also need to add in gravity. So if not is on, no, not is on floor, then I'm going to say velocity.y plus equals, actually I'm going to do this. If velocity.y greater than 0, then I'm going to add in regular gravity. So velocity.y plus equals gravity times delta. Else, we're going to do this, and we're going to do var grav multiplier float equals 3.0. We're going to say grav multiplier times gravity times delta. Now, if we just play our game, we should see the player fall. We don't yet. Oh, we need to call move and slide. And slide. Okay. And there we go. Our player falls. And it's really small on screen. I'll add a camera to our player. Camera 2D. Just take a look at what that looks like. Right there. I'm gonna see. Set. I'll go -50. -50. That looks good. Then I'm gonna go 2. Oops. 5. There, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's just some setup, but now our player should be pretty well good to go. We've got our velocities set for x and negative x. We've got velocity.x equals direction times move speed. Oh, and we want to say if direction we want to say state equals states.running. There. Okay. Actually, let's do this. We'll do func process delta. We'll just do this here. If velocity.x greater abs.x greater than 0, else state equals states.item. Okay. So now, if we are moving left or right, we'll be in the running state. Otherwise, we'll be in the idle state. And we should do... Let's see. Let's control this in process as well. Just go back. Absolute. Okay. Now this should be pretty well set up. Let's just run it just to make sure. Yep. Not playing idle. Getting some error. Oh, delta. Error of that. Be playing that. Let's not worry about animation for right now, though. Because the point of this is to have this character controller. So, what this character controller is going to do is we're going to get a reference to our player. Now, process. Now, I've already set up in project settings, input map, move left, move right, and jump. So move left is just A on the keyboard, move right is D, jump is space. So we're going to do var direction equals input.get axis move left, move right. What else say we need? Oops, I need quotes. That's why. Okay. And then var jump. And then we're just going to call in here. We're going to say player dot move. What did we call that? I think it was just move. Yeah, direction. Direction is action pressed, jump, and then player dot well, we'll just do this. Say if player dot jump. All right. So the player script is checking if it's on the floor, and then we don't need to check that here. And then this is just, it's getting the axis and it's saying move the direction. Okay, so now if we run this, ideally, yeah, if we move, oh, and it's, it is kind of animating, but all right. So it's working. Now we can change our jump. I don't really like that jump height. Let's say 150. I don't know. Now we've got this really fast jump. Let's try and do 0.75. All right, that's cool. So, so let's kind of walk through what we just did. Uh, so this is our player controller, and we're just saying, if we get this axis, then we just tell the player to move in the right direction. And then if the jump button is pressed, we tell the player to jump. And we're just trusting the player to determine whether that's possible. So in here, we're setting our jump velocity and our gravity in ready, and we're setting the default state to idle. We handle the state changing, and we handle the animation playing, and my animation player is messed up, but we can fix that pretty easily. That's not really the point of this video. It's more just down in here. We've got this func move direction, and we just say change our velocity, and if we're on the floor and we've been told to jump, then we jump. So that's all handled up here. And just keep in mind that in our character controller, let's see, is that right? Must be in the script itself. Yeah, in the script itself, we get onReady var player equals player. So that's a reference to our player node in the level. So this node, and it's telling the player to jump. So going back to the beginning, why do we set it up this way? Well, let's make this another state machine. So enum states, let's say game control, and we'll say player control. Okay, so now we're going to say if, oh yeah, and we need a var state equals state, or var state is a type of states. We're going to add a ready, func ready, underscore delta. So if state equals states dot player control, then if state equals states dot player control, then this is what we're going to do. If state equals states game control, then we're going to do pass. We're going to say do something else. So, oops, and I need double equals. Okay. Oh, let's see. That complaining. Match the parent. Parent signature. Ready. Oh, that's right. Yeah. States idle. Oh no. Play control. There we go. Okay, so now we start in that. But let's create a little goal area over here. So we're going to say node 2D. We're going to say this is goal. So we'll give that a mesh instance 2D. We'll just say that that's a box mesh for now. Let's move that down here. It'll just be at the other side of the level. We'll make it big so we can see it. Just make it kind of a bright green color. Kind of make it a little transparent so it looks kind of neat. You can see behind it. And then we're going to also say area 2D and collision shape 2D. And we're going to call this goal area. And then this is going to make this bigger so the player can't jump over it. We'll do the same thing here. We'll say rectangle shape way up there. And it doesn't have to match perfectly, but we'll make it match a little better. Okay, so now if the player crosses this, we want to take control away from the player and have the game take control of the player. So we're going to say on this goal area, we're going to say body entered, and we're going to say the player controller, we're going to attach a signal. So on goal area body entered, we're going to say if body.name equals player, let's player, no. Then we're going to say state equals states.game control. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to have the player player.move, we're going to say 1. So that's going to move the player to the right. And then we can also, let's get a reference to our camera. Oops. Then let's see, can I tell the camera to stop following the player? I don't think so, since it's parented. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just do this. We'll just kind of hack it for now. I'm just going to move the player to here. Oh, let's see. Let's actually do like, I'm just going to say the camera can't move beyond this screen. We're going to say, yeah, so I'm going to put him back. So the end of the screen is right around 1150, so I'm just going to limit the camera. That's right 1150. So now we don't see the player just like completely walk off. Let's see, where's the bottom? 650 to 650. Okay. So, now theoretically, if we've set everything up right, go to our script, then if we get to that area, then the player should lose control and the game will take control, and he's just going to move to the right, and eventually he'll just fall off the screen. Okay, whoa, that's not what I want. Let me change that really quick. So project settings, general, oops, settings. Okay. This. So we can jump. It looks pretty cool. And then if I get to the goal area, hit it, I don't touch anything, and the game is taking control and moves me off the screen. So there we go. So that's it. So, and you could do a whole lot of other things with this too. So if you had, say, like a level select screen, you could use this same sort of setup with your character controller, but then allow like 3D movement in your level select. So you could move up, down, left, right, have the same exact player, but you could say, you know, like in here, in your player script, you could also have like, you could just, just allow like Y-based movement. So rather than having like gravity affected, you could change it so that gravity is no longer affected and you can move up, down, left, right with the character controller. And then in character controller, you could say player control 2D or player control 3D. And so then you can very easily change this stuff instead of keeping track of a lot of different variables and having to set all this stuff all over the place. So anyway, I hope that's helpful, but that's how you set up a player controller separate from the player itself. So thanks for watching and have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.